Look, this is, I think it's been clear from the start, this is not about the facts. We saw that yesterday. The facts are very clear. The witness yesterday, Ambassador Sondland, said unless there was an announcement of an investigation, there would be no call, no meeting, no money. And of course, the Ukrainians got the call, they got the meeting, and they got the security assistance dollars, and there never was an announcement of an investigation. So this is not about the facts. This is about, I think, what Nancy Pelosi said, the Speaker of the House said Sunday, when she said she called the President of the United States an imposter. Democrats have never got over the fact that this new guy who's never been in this town, never been in politics, this new guy came in here and has shaken this place up, and that drives them crazy. They've never accepted the will of 63 million Americans. They've never accepted the fact that Donald Trump won in an electoral college landslide, and they are trying to do everything they can. And it was first the FBI investigation, then it was the Mueller investigation, now it's this. They're trying to do everything they can to, as Mr. Green, Democrat Representative Al Green said, impeach him because they know he's going to win re-election. So that's the unfortunate position they put our country in. I thought Dr. Hill's statement where she said, we got to quit this kind of stuff that is tearing our country apart, that is so true. That what is happening is not good for our culture, not good for our nation, and yet the Democrats do not care. They are bound and determined to do whatever it takes to get after this president. And again, I think the American people see through it. They see that the facts are on the president's side, and they know this process has been entirely unfair. And frankly, I don't know where it goes next. I don't know what they got planned. We'll just have to wait and see, and we'll take some questions.
Mr. Jordan, just to dismiss all of these allegations, you say, they haven't gotten past the election here, but as you go in trying to create this narrative into the recess week here.
I'm not creating a narrative, that's a fact, Chad.
Both
Did she say it? Did Nancy Pelosi call the President of the United States an imposter? How is that helpful to our country? How is that not tearing our country apart, as Dr. Hill just said in her testimony?
He said equally bad things about her.
He didn't call her an imposter. She got elected Speaker of the House. He got elected President of the United States.
But the point is, you guys have to establish a narrative. Every time
we don't have to establish any narrative, Chad. The facts are on our side. The facts are on the president's side. The truth is on the president's side.
Every time we've heard you guys this week here at the microphones, everything that's been alleged in there said didn't happen, it's not true, it's not that big a deal. I mean, how do you get past, even if you disagree with what the Democrats have propounded, how do you get past that and pitch what your argument is?
Did you watch the hearing yesterday? I asked Ambassador Sondland, when did it happen? And of course he said, when did what happen? The announcement that you said had to happen before they got the call, the meeting, and the money. And he said, there was no announcement. That says it all, right? That says it all. There was never, remember when this call came out, they said there's going to be a quid pro quo. Haven't seen it. Not there.
Mr. Jordan, today Fiona Hill testified and rejected very strongly the notion that Ukraine may have meddled in the 2016 election. She said this is a fictional narrative that has been perpetrated and propagated by the Russian security services themselves. Are you willing to accept her testimony?
Well, look, we all know that Russia meddled in the election, but that's not to say Ukraine didn't try to influence the election. That's the words we have used all along with the member of parliament, Mr. Lashenko, said the vast majority of Ukrainian politicians want Hillary Clinton to win, and they took actions to help her win in statements and op-eds and things they did. Now, is that on the same level as what Russia did? We've never alleged that. It's not. But it still happened. And for them to just dismiss it out of hand makes no sense.
She says
it
those
still happened.
Arguments are actually helping Russia by trying to pin the
You know what she said? You know what she said today when I asked her? I said, was the Steele dossier a rabbit hole in the deposition? She says, yes, it was a rabbit hole. Christopher Steele got played. And we know that was the biggest example of what you just brought up, Manu. That was the biggest example of how Russians tried to impact the election, because that document that he put together where he got played, running down a rabbit hole, the FBI used it to spy on an American citizen. And why aren't you concerned about that? That is the biggest, that fact that happened in this country is so darn wrong, but it did, and our FBI did it. And then when they couldn't find anything, Bob Mueller spent 2.5 years doing the same darn thing, and he didn't find anything either. So now they come to this? That's what's happened.
You're not accepting her explanation.
I'm giving the answer I just gave you.
Mr. Jordan, Dr. Hill testified also today that she did not find credible the fact that Ambassador Sondland did not make the link between Burisma and the Bible. Do you agree with her?
Doesn't change the facts. Whether she's right or he's right doesn't change the facts. There was no quid pro quo. You can't just have, we presume this was the case and it didn't happen.
And then spent 4 or 5 hours refuting the fact that the quid pro quo that he talked about in his opening statement, in fact, was all based on guesses and presumptions and no facts. I mean, and so, I mean,
Giuliani was telling him that Giuliani was acting on the express direction of the President of the United States. That was Mr. Sondland's.
that was his perception. That's correct.
Mr. Jordan, it certainly seems, despite all the work that you've done, that the Democrats are going to impeach the president out of the House. Do you view this? I mean, is this going to be a failure on your part to protect the president from having that happen?
Well, I think that was probably determined a week and a half ago in the vote. But
what was your goal?
But I thought that the telling sign from that vote that day was 2 Democrats voted with Republicans. Every single Republican understands what this is for, how wrong this is, and so did 2 Democrats. So we'll see if they ever get to a vote here the next few weeks, we'll see. If they go to the judiciary, what happens to that committee? Then when it goes to the floor, we don't even know what the articles are going to be. But when that all plays out, we'll see what the final vote is. But the real vote is the one that's going to happen in 11 and a half months. That's the vote that matters. We got to go. Thank
Have
you.
you heard any more from the committee if there would be other open hearings, Mr. Jordan?
JD, I got some pictures of you. Yeah. You bet. Yeah. I'll send them to you. Give me your email. Yeah.
You worked out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is she coming?
Sorry, they sent me too. It's so good.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see.
I don't know why they sent 2 people. If you want to grab people over there,
We were told in the room.
do you want to do this or try to grab people?
I can give you that. Try to.
Let's go do that. All right.
What? No, Democrats?
No available guys.